G'day everyone, it's SDS Supercoach here, providing Supercoach content for you. You can check me out on Twitter at StephenDW Smith and also on Instagram at SDS_Supercoach_YT. Now I'm going to be doing some AFL predictions today, so no Supercoach content, but I just thought I'd give it a crack. I've got a bit here, so I'll quickly try my best to go as quick as I can through them. Now also, I've got a Supercoach league that hasn't fully been filled out yet. It is 605,185 to my knowledge. So you can definitely give that a crack. There's, I think, about 6 spots left. So yeah, you're more than welcome to join if you've got a few spots left. There will be something good for the winner for that league. All right, let's get into it. I keep forgetting. So 18th, I've got Hawthorn. I just think they're going to have a totally different game plan. Well, that seems to be the case. They're going to be blooding a lot of the youth. They're going to be risky and bold with their footy. So they'll probably include a lot of turnovers, a lot of mishaps in the game. And also, you know, if they're playing more attacking footy, down forward, where I think they're a bit lackluster down there, I certainly think that could cause a lot of trouble around goal. And yeah, it's risky, and it's first-year head coach. And it's funny me saying this because I'm a Hawthorn supporter. So yeah, there you go. 17th, I've got the Crows. I still think they're a while off. That the side that I saw their best 22, I thought, geez, they're still a couple of years off, aren't they? So I think they'll eventually be good, but I think Adelaide are going to have to spend a couple more years down the bottom. 16th, I've got North Melbourne. I think they'll show a little bit more improvement, but I think we can't forget how, you know, they still are just in basically their second year of their proper rebuild under David Noble. So I still think there's going to be a little while before they start really soaring up the ladder, but they're looking really good at the minute. 15th, I've got the Pies. I just think they've got a few more senior blokes that might get them an extra win or two. It's going to might be the same thing with Hawthorn, where they try to play attacking footy, but down forward it could be better. So I think Craig McRae, first year head coach, Nick Dacos, I'm sure will get a lot of opportunity as well. 14th, I've got the West Coast Eagles. We saw how much they've been hampered with injuries over the pre-season. So I think they'll carry into the season and they'll struggle a bit. But as I said, similar with Collingwood, I think they've got enough senior blokes on the side where they can get an extra win or two ahead of these bottom three sides. 13th, I've got the Suns. I just think now they might not have Ben King, but they certainly do have a really nice core of midfielders along with Rao, Tuke Miller, their star player, and Noah Anderson. So I think they'll be good. And I think their backline's developing pretty well. And we might see Jack Lukosius kick a few goals in replacement of Ben King. 12th, I've got the Saints. I just think they've got a tough fixture again. We saw how much they struggled quite a bit with some of the top teams ready to go. Maybe it's not as tough as last year, but I just look at that team and see, I'm not sure how they're going to, what they're going to do to be better. I mean, of course, their pressure was so good in 2020, but we don't know whether that's going to be the same in 2022 as it was in 2020. So I've just got them 12th. I think you've got the bottom 6 there that I'm pretty set with. And then probably between 8th to 12th is a real mix-up. And I don't really mind. You won't get any complaints off me where you place these teams from 8th to 12th. But this is how I've got it. 11th, I've got the Bombers. I just think they'll take a step back and go 2 steps forward in 2023. I just think that they're 2 key forwards. Yeah, sure, they're quite interesting. But Peter Wright, I'm not sure if he's good enough to get you to win a final realistically, and they've got a really good young core. They've also got Stringer with calf issues. I'm worried that's going to hamper him this year. And yeah, that's just my opinion. 10th, I've got Carlton. I think they get a little bit better, but first year head coach under Michael Voss. Yeah, so I think Carlton, good in the midfield. They'll be very solid. Down back really scares me. Down forward, I think it's pretty good. But it's that back line. I'm worried they're going to continue like they did last year and concede a heap of points. and even without Liam Jones and no Liam Jones this year. So they're going to have to rely on maybe Mitch McGovern down back to get some intercept marks, and maybe someone like a Lewis Young to play as that second key defender, which does scare me. I mean, they've got Caleb Marchbank, but he's currently out injured still. Ninth, I've got Freo just missing out. I think they're just one of those sides that are slowly getting there. And I guess you could say, actually, probably a bad sign for them, but this might be their biggest step in their surge back towards premiership contention. So I think they're stiff, but eighth, I've got the Giants. I just think it'll determine how they go without Toby Green for the first few games. If they can manage to even just be 2 and 3 in their first 5 games, then that would be a good result for them. I just think they've got enough quality. They haven't got as many injury concerns this year, so I think they should be all right, and they'll just sneak in there. 7th, I've got the Tigers jumping back into the top 8. I just think they're too good enough of the side to not make it. I think with Dusty back, a bit lighter as well, so he should be good to go. Their midfield I'll be interested to see how their midfield goes, but then you've got Tom Lynch, Jack Riewoldt in there. Robbie Tarrant's a good addition to the side. 6th, I've got the Cats, just a couple of steps back from what they were last year. They're getting a bit older. I still think they'll be a very solid home and away side. They'll be tough to beat down in Geelong. So I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with once again this year, even though I've got them 6th. 5th, I've got Port. I've just got them edging out of the top 4. I think there's been a few injury concerns with Robbie Gray and Charlie Dixon down forward. They're going to have guys like Finn Layson and Georgiades and Marshall to step up down forward. I think Butters will come to his own this year. Is that the saying? I think I got it wrong. But yeah, I think he'll look like an absolute star as a midfielder. 4th, I've got the Swans. Terrible image quality, but ignore that. I know I'm using Google Slides. I'm such a rookie. So Sydney, I think they take that step again. Whether they can make any noise in the finals, we'll have to wait and see. But I just think with Buddy there, if he can just get 15, 16 games in him, then they'll be fantastic to see. And it would be fantastic to see him kick 1,000 goals, you'd like to think, this year. And they're a really good young side. I almost reckon they've got the best youngsters in the comp ahead of a few. So they should be good. 3rd, I've got the D's. I think they might take a mini step back in the home and away season, but that's fine. That's what they're not a great team yet, but those are what the good sides do. As long as they can get in that top 4, then they should be fantastic. I think there will be a couple of sides gunning for the home and away season and be a bit more hungrier, like the Dogs, who I've got 2nd, who want to make a statement after missing out on the top 4, and that might have hurt them a bit. You know, they had to play every week heading into the D's game, although they got the week break heading to the grand final. But I think Aaron Norton will be fantastic this year. We'll see Dunkley a bit more in the midfield, I'm sure. We'll see Liberatore, Smith get even better. Bontempelli, of course, what a star. So I think they should be great. And first, I've got the Brisbane Lions. I'm really bullish on Brisbane this year. I think they will finally take that step up and be a great home and away side and finish as minor premiers. Runners up, I've got the Brisbane Lions, as stiff as they could be, but it could just be another story of those interstate sides being fantastic in the home and away, but then they come to the G on grand final day and they might struggle a little bit. So they will be stiff, but I do have the Western Bulldogs as premiers for this year. I just think they're going to want to make a statement this year after losing the grand final. So, yeah, I've got them winning the flag. The Brownlow medalists, I've gone a real smoky in Hugh McCluggage. I think with Neil and also Lyons, who are going to spend a little bit less time in the midfield this year, I think Hugh McCluggage is ready to step up and take that step into being the best player in the league this year. Or maybe not necessarily, but the Brownlow medalist, the midfielders medal, etc. Coleman Medalist, I've got Aaron Norton. I think without Josh Bruce, should open up his his chances at certainly doing a lot better and getting more opportunity to kick goals. As long as he can stay healthy, he gets the odd niggle here and there, but I think it should be enough. Coach of the Year, I got Chris Fagan. Now, that's obviously for Brisbane finishing first, but usually happens every year, so not much to talk about here. Great coach. What a change he's made for Brisbane. Rising star, I've gone the boring option in Nick Dacos. It's hard to not go past him. You could talk me into Jason Horne-Francis. You could talk me into Josh Ward from Hawthorn, but I think Dacos, he's going to get a real nice opportunity off that half-back line to collect the ball, and also the odd centre bounce attendance where he can show his true potential. Oh, my bad. I don't know how to go back. So one was the surprise All-Australian, and I've gone with Justin McInerney. I think with Dawson gone, someone else left, Hewitt. Yeah, Hewitt not so much, but Dawson should open up the opportunity for Justin McInerney to show his ability. We saw that in pre-season. I think he could be the All-Australian winger. So we'll see how that goes, but he is a hell of a talent. Main headline of the season, I've got COVID. I think the AFL media is just not going to stop talking about it with the amount of COVID outbreaks for teams. We're going to see some top-up players, and there might be a bit of talk this season about how poor quality some games are because there's some VFL, Sandford, Waffle players playing for certain teams, and might lower the quality of games, and some teams might cop it more than others. Absolutely. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So that's my prediction for the headline. And I've got a few off-season predictions. I've got Kane Corns there, the king of the off-season. Chad Wingard requests a trade. I just think he might be one of those Hawthorn senior blokes where they're ready to finish off their career on being on a contending team, whether Hawthorn can get back, I don't know, a second-round pick for him. We'll have to wait and see. Certainly not as much as what they paid for him. But I think Wingard would be one of those players that look to move on. Adam Simpson, the coach of the Saints in 2023. I don't know. I get some predictions where I think, okay, this might happen. For some reason, I've got a really weird feeling that this will happen. West Coast will go down a rebuilding route. They'll part ways with Adam Simpson, and St Kilda, who are looking to do a bit better, will hire him to be the new coach. And we'll see how that, it hasn't happened yet, but I'd be very interested to see how that goes. Josh Dunkley requests a trade. Now, there's been some little talks about him going to South Australia, but I think if he wins a second flag, I think he's looking to just be a bit more comfortable in his lifestyle and also look for, being the main guy in the midfield. So I don't know where he could go personally, but I think it's a real possibility. Like I think we saw with the Essendon rumours a couple of years ago, and he actually did request a trade. Now he might be rejecting those rumours at the minute, but we saw what happened with the Essendon deal, and I think there's a bit more water to go under the bridge at the minute with this. And Alistair Clarkson, finally, the last prediction. He rejects the Suns, and looks like he's going to be ready for the Tasmania coaching job if they get a side, which it looks like it could happen. It's getting a bit more noise now. So I think that's what will happen when Tassie join the league eventually. I think Clarkson will be the first head coach, and he'll reject the Suns' massive offer by the AFL. All right, thank you for watching. Leave the comments down below on what you think. If I disrespected your favourite side, don't feel bad. Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll do a final AFL Supercoach team reveal tomorrow. Cheers.